What's up? What's up, Bama Nation? What's poppin'? What's going on? We're back with you with the club background from the home location, giving you the hottest show in the streets, talking your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you guys with me on a Wednesday hump day. So much to discuss, so much action taking place. SEC Media Days coming up in the next few weeks. We got Alabama football fall camp with a whole different time, whole different date, whole different vibe. Just so much to be absolutely excited for. Kalen DeBoer continuing to crush it, absolutely crush it on the recruiting trail. And we want you guys being a part of tonight's show, getting rowdy in the comment section. Leave all comments. We're taking all comments tonight on the show. Go ahead, smash the like button, smash that thumbs up, hit that like button, raise up those like levels on the show, hit that subscribe button as well. Make this your show, your spot, your place to talk all things Bama football. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. Got a fantastic show on this evening. To get us all started here, we're going to go to the first comment from Lakeith Williams, giving us that roll tide roll. Appreciate that coming from you, Lakeith, and for everybody else coming into the YouTube chat line here. As I mentioned, we got a big time show. You guys get in here, get your thoughts in, get your questions ready, get your questions prepared. But we start topic number one here, folks, of the conversation tonight with Kalen DeBoer is killing it. Him, Nick Sheridan, Jamarcus Shepard, Courtney Morgan, Kane Womack, this entire coaching staff has just been flat up killing it on the recruiting trail. I mean, Alabama coming in here, we already knew, even with Coach Saban retiring, he had the structure, he had the framework where the new coaching staff was concerned. He had everything in place for these guys to have success, right? But what DeBoer has done in keeping Freddie Roach and Robert Gillespie and then bringing on coaches of his own flavor to Tuscaloosa, the big bugaboo was Kalen DeBoer can't recruit the South, right? He can't recruit down here. He ain't gonna be able to do it down here. He don't know anything about these grits, about this sweet tea, about this life down here in the South. He don't know nothing about that. So he's not gonna be able to recruit the athletes down here. And DeBoer has done nothing but crush it. 21 verbal commitments for Alabama, several of those from either in the state of Alabama or in the South to Southeast region, but he's also touched other areas. Bama's got 6 commitments from the state of California. So there's the West Coast, Courtney Morgan right there. They've got commitments from Texas, that being quarterback Keelan Russell. You got a commitment from New Jersey, a commitment from Pennsylvania. Alabama is touching everywhere on this recruiting trail. And as of late, they picked up a 4-star edge rusher, big-time 4-star edge rusher in this class of the name of Justin Hill. So you got Justin Hill, big-time 4-star edge rusher, can pressure, can get to the quarterback, can stop the run, can play big time. So you got Justin Hill. And then you picked up a 4-star tight end in Caleb Edwards out of California. Caleb Edwards, there is some O.J. Howard there. There is some Miller Forrestall there. There is some Irv Smith there. There is some Michael Williams there. At 6'6", 240 pounds, Caleb Edwards is a star. I mean, Oak Ridge High School does a phenomenal job of lining him up as a tight end on the line. He does well blocking. He does well pass protecting. But when he gets out and he runs his routes, you see the speed, you see the route running capability, you see the prowess there, the athleticism, the hands to catch the football, to get up and down the field and just make big-time plays. The kid's a playmaker. The young man's a bona fide playmaker. And then you throw in Justin Hill that can rock the quarterback, that can stop the run, that can just be very explosive off the edge. Alabama killing it right now. Kalen DeBoer doing his job on the recruiting trail. And with more guys in the pipeline, you're still looking at Caleb Cunningham. You're still looking at Keelan Deere. You're still looking at Justice Terry. You're still looking at so many other names left that Alabama can pick from, but Alabama can choose from in terms of bringing it into the program. Kalen DeBoer and his ability to be creative on social media and get these 16 to 17-year-old kids to buy into, you need to come to Alabama. You need to commit to the Crimson Tide. We're building something special over here. Whether he's doing it through Snapchat, whether he's doing it through Instagram, whether he's doing it through X, formerly known as Twitter, whether he's doing it through TikTok. I mean, DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, everybody is all in on, we got to be the most creative coaching staff to get these young athletes to see the vibe, the energy, the whole thing. It's right here in Tuscaloosa. It's right here at the University of Alabama, and this coaching staff led by Coach DeBoer has done an unbelievable job. You got to take your cap off to him. You have to take your cap off to him. I mean, Alabama right now, I mean, who would have thought as we get closer to December, Alabama could end up having the #1 recruiting class in the country. And this is after Coach Saban retires. This is after you lose several guys to the transfer portal. This is after all of the people saying, you know what Alabama could not do in recruiting with the brand new head coach. Alabama is seriously on the verge of possibly having the #1 recruiting class in the country here when December rolls around. And I know Georgia's going to keep pushing. And I know Ohio State's going to keep pushing. I get that. I get that. But right now, where your Crimson Tide sit right now, man, what a job done by Kalen DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, and the remainder of this staff. But Bama getting it done here on the recruiting trail. We're going to take our first quick break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting you started here. Upon our return, we're going to go to your comments in the YouTube chat line. We're taking all comments tonight on the show. Light us up. We'll be back after this. But first, a word from our partners at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. And also, you got to check out the Way It Is podcast with yours truly. And we'll get into that as well. Don't go anywhere. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bam without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. And you want to know what's crazy? When I wrote that article on Jalen Hurts being starting quarterback for Alabama in 2016, and I was right. Tide 102.9, now Tide 100.9, actually dismissed me. Like they fired me from the radio show. What? I have a new podcast, The Way It Is, on touchdownalabama.com. I gotta go back to 2017. I'm out there at practice, right? I just hear Coach Saban say, man, stop throwing it deep all the time. And then I hear somebody clap back at Saban with, tell your defense to stop me then. And I'm like, who in the world did clap back at Saban? Oh, look, it was Lil Mac Jones. Got up clapping back at the GOAT. And in this podcast, I'm getting into never-before-seen stories when you talk about interactions with players, predictions, commentary, just my 15-year career covering Alabama football. In my 15 years covering Alabama football, this was the craziest thing I've ever seen. That one right there, that one hurt, man. That one was hard to watch. Man, one of the craziest moments I've ever been a part of in covering Bama football. As an Alabama fan, why would you even say that? What's wrong? What's the point of that? You can check out the podcast on touchdownalabama.com. Subscribe to TDA Plus. You already know what it is, folks. You already know you got everything with you from the guys at Alumni Hall, our partners right there, to the Way It Is podcast. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys back in here with us, rocking and rolling from the break here. In my own words, right here on a Wednesday hump day, we're going to go to more of your comments right here. Here we go. We got Flyboy G writing in, I'll believe it when they bring in a true dominant defensive lineman. He's talking about Alabama in recruiting. Justice Terry could be that dominant defensive lineman. We'll see if he gives that verbal commitment to the Crimson Tide coming up here down the pipeline. But Alabama, Kalen DeBoer have been crushing it here on the recruiting trail. Crimson Bass writes in, has Ryan Williams gained weight? He has put on some. He has put on some weight, Crimson Bass. He's put on some weight, put on a little bit of muscle. Kalen DeBoer talked about it, the transformation he's been on since coming in. He's fit in perfectly with the team. This is a wide receiver, a five-star freshman that looks to shake some things up, and the coaching staff is excited to see him play. The coaching staff is ready to put him on the field, and let's see what this young man can do. Let's see what this young man can give Alabama's wide receiver room. Let's see here. James Knox writes in, roll tide till I die. In my own words, TDA family, appreciate you, James Knox, helping us out here on the show. We can look at Derek Kastarpin. Derek Kastarpin writes in, what's up, Stephen? What's up, Stephen M? Derek, hey, doing well, man. Doing well, man. How are you, my man? Michael Coleman writes in, yes, sir. Ryan has gained weight. He has. Ryan Williams has put on some pounds and put on some muscle, has not disrupted his speed, though, still picking it up and putting him down speed-wise, making plays so far in the summer activities here for Alabama. But we're looking forward to seeing what he does in this upcoming season, his first year as a freshman for Alabama. Smoking Bud with a Roll Tide. Roll Tide to you, Smoking Bud. Happy to have you in here. Dre Lively with a Tide family. We appreciate you, Dre, helping us out here on the show. Michael Coleman, my grandson Ryan is filling out muscles. He is ripped. Ryan Williams, my man, is filling out. Like I mentioned, coaching staff very excited about him. They're high on him. Kalen DeBoer mentioned a while back in Mobile, we're putting the best players on the field regardless of classification. It doesn't matter if you're a freshman, sophomore, I don't care. If you are that dude and you are about that business, they're putting you on the field. The coach staff's putting you on the field. Dale B writes in, I hope our D will play ball this year. Alabama's defense is going to be fine. I know people have their concerns about the 4-2-5 under Kane Womack. They have their concerns about defensive secondary. Some have their concerns about the defensive linemen. Does Alabama have those guys that can tear you up front? I think Alabama's going to be fine, guys. I think Alabama football is going to be just fine defensively. I think they're going to be better than fine defensively. Kevin Steele got the engine revved up back toward a competitive, hungry, nasty fighting group, right? So if Kevin Steele got the engine revved back toward that way in one season, Kane Womack for all that he has inherited, this is going to be very fun to watch this. Roll Tide and Rise Up writes in, I think a Kalen DeBoer is about to commit to Bama, and that may be why Smith decommitted. Yeah, Smith decommitted, and I know people are kind of wondering why, but I think a Kalen DeBoer is going to commit, and Smith's been committed since 2023. So a lot of times when you have guys that commit early, and then people don't, I guess, talk about them as much after they commit. You kind of have to get that feeling of when they may back off the pledge. But I mean, you got a Kalen DeBoer coming in, potentially Cade Cunningham could be potentially coming in, Justice Terry could be potentially coming in. So even if you lose Smith as the decommitment, you have other guys wanting to fill that spot. You have other guys wanting to fill that role. You have other guys wanting to be a part of this Alabama football program. So then there's that. Let's see. Kickback writes in, only thing that concerns me is who the second cornerback will be. Well, Kickback, Bama's got options there. Deshaun Jones, the transfer from Wake Forest. Cameron Howard, the transfer from North Carolina, Charlotte. Then you have Jaleel Hurley, who is the lone scholarship holdover from the 2023 class, a former five-star. Then you got freshman guys, Jalen Mbakwe, Xavier Mincy, and Zabian Brown. So there's 6 dudes kind of battling for that second spot opposite Damani Jackson. Should Damani just go ahead and take one of those 2 starting spots there at corner? Going to be interesting. Going to be fun there. Me personally, I think Deshaun Jones has the most experience out of everybody to lock in that spot. But if there seems to be an inkling of a problem, don't be surprised if a freshman like Zabian Brown rises up and takes this position at 6 feet. He's got technique. He's got the footwork, the quickness, the coverage skills, the ball skills. Zabian Brown is incredibly talented. But right now, I would have kind of Deshaun Jones, the transfer from Wake Forest, the guy with the most experience there that should play in that spot. Todd Colburn writes in, he don't care about nothing but the Tide, baby. Channeling his inner road, Todd Willie, and wishing everybody a great and safe, happy 4th of July. The 4th is tomorrow. So let's have some fun, Bama Nation. Your favorite 4th of July spread. If you're going to have a favorite spread of food for the 4th of July, what would be your favorite food spread? I'm going to get to those thoughts as well in the comments. So comment that down. Your favorite food spread for 4th of July. Should get some good conversation off that. But appreciate all of you guys for checking us out here on the show thus far on a Wednesday. We're going to get into right now, or shift into right now, topic number 2 here of the conversation of the show. And this is on Jalen Milroe assuring that this offense for Alabama will be explosive. This offense for the Crimson Tide will be nothing but explosive here in the upcoming season. And he's got offensive coaches around him. Kalen DeBoer, an offensive mind. Nick Sheridan, an offensive mind. Jamarcus Shepard, an offensive mind. Mitch Dalen, who's an offensive analyst but played quarterback in college, an offensive mind. Brian Ellis, who's a tight ends coach, who played quarterback in college, an offensive mind. So when I look at Jalen Milroe in this offense, it should be nothing short of explosive, especially after we saw what Kalen DeBoer did last year at Washington. Washington was the top-ranked team in the country in terms of pre-snap shifts, motions, movement, window dressing, eye candy before the snap. Washington was first in the nation in doing that. And I look at this team, we're going to see a lot of 4 wide receiver looks, 4 wide receiver sets. We could see a lot of just pulling movement with the offensive linemen. This is the reason why Tyler Booker dropped weight. This is the reason why Caden Proctor dropped weight there. You want offensive linemen that are not only big, but that can also move, that can get to the second and third level here of an opposing defense in the run game, as well as pass protect, keeping Jalen Milroe upright in the aerial attack aspect. So this is going to be an explosive offense. Alabama's going to want to have balance. They're going to want to run the football. Jamarcus Shepard mentioned, hey, with the beef we got up front and beef that can move, we would be foolish, crazy. We'd be downright stupid if we didn't sit there and run the football. So Alabama's going to want to incorporate balance. It's going to want to run the football. It's going to want to get Justice Haynes, Jam Miller, Richard Young up and down the field. It's going to want to be able to do that while at the same time unleashing this passing game of Jalen Milroe, especially at wide receiver, where you have Kobe Prentice, where you have Kendrick Law, where you have Jeremy Bernard, where you have Ryan Williams, Bubba Hampton, Amari Jefferson, where you have Cole Adams, Emmanuel Henderson, where you have these guys, Caleb Odom, where you have these guys that can make plays. My thing is, with how explosive they want to make the offense, can we see the tight end involved? Can we get the tight end some love, please? I mean, when Alabama's won its national championships in the Nick Saban era, but tight end position was utilized, whether it was Michael Williams, whether it was Brad Smelly, whether it was O.J. Howard, Irv Smith, Miller Forrestall. I mean, Alabama used the tight end, people. So can we get that position going? Because I look at C.J. Dupree, he could be a beast in this offense if they utilize him and get him the football. He could be something. He was criminally underutilized at Maryland. Wasn't utilized much last year at Alabama. I think he had only 11 catches. Then you've got Danny Lewis Jr., who's an athlete. You got Robbie Oots, who, yes, we know him as a physical marquee blocker, but he has improved in the pass catching also. You've got Ty Lockwood. You've got Jay Lindsey. I mean, you got dudes. So it's time to really get that tight end position going. You also got Josh Cuevas, the transfer from Washington. So they're tight ends all over the roster. If you're Alabama, you're Kalen DeBoer, you need to put the ball into the hands of these tight ends. Let them have some sugar. I mean, let them eat too. You got to have them eating, the running backs eating, the wide receivers eating. We know Jalen Milroe is going to want to pull the ball down and run with it himself as well. But this offense is going to be dynamic. This is going to be a very much so dynamic offense for Alabama. My question is going to be, how many points do they score a game? Right? Because under coordinators like Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian, Alabama could put up 40 to 50 points at will. You just name the date, the place, and the time, right? They could put up 40 to 50 plus at will. So under Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan, how many points will this offense score a game? I think they'll be explosive. I think Jalen Milroe will use this season as an opportunity to put himself in the Heisman conversation, put himself in a lot of these individual award aspects, put himself with an opportunity to compete, push for trying to win a national championship. Most importantly, put himself in a situation where he will be, or he can be, a high round draft pick. I see all of this for Milroe. But it all starts off with this offense, starting off with Chris Kaplovich and this offensive line. Last year, the offensive line gave up 44 sacks. Now, some of that was on Milroe holding the ball too long. He'll get better with that. But much of that was the offensive line failure to communicate across the board, and the offensive line failure to pass off guys and just winning their one-on-one matchups up front. That's the reason why the 44 sacks were given up. So now you look at the dropping of weight for Tyler Booker. He's now at 330. The dropping of weight for Caden Proctor. Jaden Roberts is a massive man. And then you bring over a Joe Moore Award player off that Washington offensive line and Parker Brausford. at that center position. So going to be good here to watch this front line to see what they do, how they dominate. It's going to be fun to see who emerges as maybe that number one receiver, that go-to guy. When Bama's had that go-to weapon at wide receiver, it's been incredible. I mean, Greg McElroy had Julio Jones, right? That parlayed to a national championship. A.J. McCarron had Amari Cooper in 2012. That parlayed to a national championship. And then Jacob Coker, 2015, he had Calvin Ridley as a freshman. That parlayed to a national championship. 2017, well, the combination of Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, it wasn't really a favorite guy. I mean, Calvin Ridley was number one guy, but then once Tua got out there, it didn't matter who the number one guy was because Tua was just going to throw you open. I mean, the number one guy could have been me out there. But I'm just saying, the number one guy could have been me out there, and Tua would just throw me open, on the football field. So that was 2017, and that led to a national championship. And, of course, 2020, it was Mac Jones and Devontae Smith, and that led to a national championship. So for Jalen Milroe, who will be that number one target there for him at wide receiver? Will it be Kobe Prentice? Will this be the year where they actually really utilize Kendrick Law? Will it be Emmanuel Henderson, Cole Adams? Does Ryan Williams shock everybody? I mean, it's going to be fun to watch this. And that's what's so great about once fall camp comes, because we get to see who are the guys that are going to pop. Who are the guys that are the real deal here? But this offense under Jalen Milroe should be undeniably explosive. We're going to take another break here, folks. We'll touch that dial. When we get back, we return to the phone lines. We're getting your thoughts, your comments here on the show. But right now, we go to another word here from our sponsors at Alumni Hall. Check them out. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah. Man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bam without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. Hold on. Give us just 1 minute, fans. 1 second here. 1 second. Did not see that. Give us one. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah. Man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bam without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. All right, folks, we are back here. Let me get this back right here. All right, folks, we are back into the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets, talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little bit of a camera there issue, but we're back. We are back. We are back. We are back here, back rocking and rolling. But we're going to go to the chat line to get some of your thoughts, some of your comments here on the show. And we're going to start this off. Hold on here. There we go. We're going to start this off here with Kickback. So Kickback has his spread for the 4th of July weekend. So Kickback's got here. His spread would be ribs, potato salad, coleslaw, and cakes. Can't beat that. Ribs, potato salad, coleslaw, and cakes. That's Kickback there. Peasy writes in at Kickback. We got two, Deshaun Lee and then Chuck McDonald in terms of defensive backs in the California area. Alabama got two that committed in this class. Deshaun Lee and Chuck McDonald, both of those two have committed. From Davis writes in, hey, Steven, when will Bama recruit a center? Still need depth at center. Good question there. That could be coming down the pipeline from. That could be coming. Because if you look at after Parker Browsford, you got Rock Montgomery that can play center, and that's kind of it right there. So I know Alabama tried Joseph Ionata at center during the spring game. He looked kind of uncomfortable in that spot. He's more so of an offensive tackle. So I agree with you. At some point, you definitely got to recruit you a center here in this class. So that should be coming down the pipeline, hopefully. Peasy writes back in, Smith, I think, wants to play offense, and we were trying to put him at cornerback. So I guess that's the key at that recently decommitted here from the Crimson Tide here. Peasy also writes in, y'all remember Brad Smelly? Kid was clutch. Brad Smelly was the truth. Brad Smelly, that 2011 season, really good tight end. Really good tight end H-back player. So I do remember Brad Smelly. He was clutch. He played well, helped get you to a national championship. So absolutely remember Brad Smelly. Let's see if From Davis writes back in. Let's get this pulled up here. From Davis writes back in. Tua had the best wide receiver group in the nation. Tua did. You had Judy, you had Ruggs, you had Smith, you had Waddle, you had all of them. You had Mechie. I mean, what did Tua not have? So Tua had the best group in the nation where he just threw guys open. He didn't necessarily need a number one guy because they were all speed demons. They could all catch the football. They could all run routes. They could all make plays. Just get open, and Tua's going to get you the football. Absolutely. From writes back in, don't know if you will ever see a group like this at Bama again at Bama. I'll say this. That group was unbelievable, but if Bama can get a few guys from this group to pop, if they can get a few guys from this group to pop here, that will be intriguing. And by the guys, if it can get Kobe Prentice, if it can get Kendrick Law, if it can get Ryan Williams, if it can get Emmanuel Henderson, Cole Adams, just a few of these guys in this wide receiver room to really pop, we're going to see something. We got Bama. We got Bama Mag. We got Bama. We got Bama Mag MG with let's get this channel to 1 million. Absolutely. Hey, get this channel to 1 million right here. We repping with it. From Davis, all first-round draftees. Just all of those guys went in the first round. Judy, Ruggs, Smith, Waddle, they all went first round. David Williams, watch some old highlights from last season. I think Lawson's going to be a beast. Deontay's healthy. D-Law is healthy. So you got a healthy D-Law. If on top of that, you're going to have Jihad Campbell playing next to him. That's going to be really good. And then whoever starts at that wolf backer. Now, of course, Q Robinson is going to have a crack at this. I like Keanu Coop myself. Quay Russo's that guy's something. And then you look at Yancey Pierre that can play at that spot, and also Keon Keeley. But I think D-Law being healthy, D-Law coming off a decent season last year, though he missed some games with an injury. For him, it's going to be not freelancing so much. There were times where Dean would tend to freelance on plays. He doesn't freelance on a whole bunch of plays. Get in there, do your thing, crack it down, shoot the gap, knock their head off, play ball, then Dean going to be all right. If Dean go out there trying to freelance something, then not going to be the best case scenario. But him being healthy, he should have a very good year. He should have a very good year out there. Let's see. Peasy writes in, our problem last year wasn't receivers. We have a lot of young guys who can get separation regularly, need consistent O-line play, and Jalen's got to improve the footwork. That's the main thing. You need consistent O-line play. O-line play has got to communicate. They got to pass guys off. They got to work the protection. That's what you have to do. You got to work the protection, pass guys off to the right guy, run block well, pass block well. That's the offensive line. And part of that is the reason why these guys drop weight so they can be able to move and not just be 370-pound free agents, but be able to move. And then with Jalen Milroe, yes, the footwork, yes, the pocket awareness, but also the internal clock to understand, okay, I got to let go of this football. I can't just hold on to it for an eternity when the pocket's collapsing all around me. I got to let go of this football. Crimson Bass writes in, I can't wait to see Justice Haynes. I heard he was 210 pounds and Richard Young was 208 pounds. They're going to dominate in the SEC. Haynes and Young, also Jam Miller, this running back room is going to be big time. Running back room is going to be big time. I think Jam Miller has a good year. I think Justice Haynes has a good year. I think Richard Young gets some carries in there. From Davis has a thought. Hale, get healthy soon. I hope X Factor. Jalen Hale is a guy that how quickly can he get back in his rehab process? This was a guy that a lot of people had as possibly a starter at that X position, top of the formation, spring practice before he got hurt. Suffered a significant knee injury. So if he can get back healthy, and if he can get back healthy in terms of getting back on the field early, not trying to rush him back. That's the last thing we want, is to rush the guy back. You don't want to rush him back. But if he can return to the field healthy, strong, good to go this season, but he's going to be big there. Blue Bama 09, Jam Miller will have a good year. I'm excited for Jam. What he can do as a running back, what he can do out the backfield as a wide receiver, Jam's a baller. We got Eric Schoenheimer with, did we get a commit from a 5-star kicker? I thought kicker rankings only go to 3 stars. Well, kicker, that you can be a 5-star kicker, but just have a 3-star rating, because kickers, they're more so rated by the Chris Saylor kicking camp and the Coles kicking camp. So Chris Saylor and Coles, they'll give you a 5-star, but that equates to a 3-star to just the average player, right? So you could be a 5-star kicker from Coles and Chris Saylor, but in other recruiting networks, they'll give you a 3-star. I mean, I don't understand how that works at times, but Alabama did get a big-time commit from a kicker on today. So Kalen DeBoer continuing to show that special teams is a big deal for this program. David Williams writes in, how do you think the team as a whole is grasping the new playbook? They're grasping it well. I think the offensive guys, they're learning new things in the install every day that they're out there. They're picking up the offense very well out there. I mean, Kalen DeBoer is throwing different things at them every day. And then you have Kane Womack, who has this defense picking up stuff well within this 4-2-5. Now, yes, the terminology is different. Yes, the word jargon is different versus what you were used to under Nick Saban. But the team, the players, they're picking up everything extremely well out there at this point. We got Peasy who writes in, I swear somebody needs to develop some VR application for quarterbacks to get mental reps. Imagine if Jalen could get mental reps while he's chilling at home. That'd be good. If you can get some virtual reality application for these quarterbacks, have them virtually taking those mental reps while they're at home, feeling their way through the pocket. I mean, maybe the coaching staff should just get Milroe EA Sports College Football 25 on virtual reality, Peasy. Have Jalen Milroe get EA Sports College Football 25 on virtual reality. Let's do that. Let's see here. From Davis writes in, defense really needs to step up. A-Day was disappointing. That's all we have to go on. Now, look, A-Day was just vanilla, okay? They're not going to unleash everything in a spring game. They're not going to do that. Now, all throughout spring practice, Ken Womack had exotic stuff all throughout practice. But he's not going to sit there and give you exotic stuff in a spring game. He's just not going to do that. They're going to be as vanilla as possible because they're not going to want to show their hand so that the rest of college football can see, what they have. They are not going to do that there. Blue Bama 09 writes in, who do you think will be starting in the defensive backfield? I would go one corner, Damani Jackson. The other corner, let's go Deshaun Jones. At the Husky, let's go Devontae Smith. At the Rover, strong safety, let's go Malachi Moore. At free safety, Keon Saab. That'll be my starting defensive backfield. Damani Jackson, Deshaun Jones, Devontae Smith, Malachi Moore, Keon Saab. That'd be my starting defensive backfield there. Eric Schoenheimer. Steve, we had 2 decommits today. Is Bama just clearing room for higher-rated players? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Bama's clearing room for higher-rated guys. Bama's clearing room for more 4 and 5 stars, more particularly 5 stars. I think that's what's going on with the 2 decommitments today. There's nothing to panic about. I know people look at somebody decommitted from Bama, and the immediate thought for some, not all, is to hit the panic button. There is nothing to panic about. This is Kalen DeBoer. This is the Alabama football coaching staff clearing room for more higher-rated players at this point. Crimson Bass writes in, who do you think takes the right tackle position? I think it's going to be Wilkin Formby. Formby, who came in that 2023 class from Northridge High School, I think he takes right tackle. Right now, yes, Elijah Pritchett has more experience. I get that. But Wilkin Formby gives you so much more pass blocking. He gives you so much more run blocking. He understands exactly what Chris Kaplovich is going to want out of him to do. I think Wilkin Formby at right tackle, that's your guy. Wilkin Formby at right tackle, that's your man. From Davis writes in, my mind playing tricks on me with that virtual reality. Man, look, now, if it helps Jalen Milroe to have the virtual reality, then have the virtual reality. I got no problem with it. My thing is, as long as it helps Alabama offensively, defensively, the whole 9. If it helps, then I'm all for some virtual reality. If it creates some type of unnecessary distraction, then let's not have it. So that's my whole thought there on that aspect. But we're going to actually slide into right now the final topic here of conversation tonight, folks, on the show here on a Wednesday. We got new changes happening in fall camp. So let's get the cat out of the bag. Cat out of the bag. Big news is fall camp this time around, July 31st. That's the expected date. I know, right? Crazy. Under Nick Saban, fall camp usually that first week of August, on average August 4th, August 3rd, the players will report to camp. You would have Nick Saban with this whole Nick's Kids thing, and the players would be signing autographs, posters, and stuff for the kids. And then on the very next day, August 4th, you would have the first day of fall practice. But it's different now with Kalen DeBoer. The expected date, July 31st, the first day of fall camp. The 30th, players report to camp, and practices will be in the morning now. Whoa! So no more of those afternoon, evening practices. We're going to have morning practices now for Alabama football. And this is good because it gets you out of that heat of the day. Because the heat of the day in Alabama, we know it comes between noon and 2, 3 p.m. So having those morning practices, early morning practices, it gets you out of that heat of the day. It allows the players to go out there early, do their thing, run through the drills, run through the schemes, run through the whole formation, run through it all, and then have the rest of that day to recuperate the body, whether it's hot tub, cold tub treatment, whatever they have to do to recuperate the body. So right now, the new changes here, folks, fall camp. Normally, under Nick Saban, fall camp was that first week of August, primarily on average, August the 4th. They would report to camp. August 3rd, you would have the Knicks Kids Foundation event. And then the very next day is your first day of practice. Now, under Kalen DeBoer, it's different. First day of practice, expected July 31st. The players will report to camp on the 30th, and you're going to have morning practices. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. I will be out there soaking all of that up. I will be out there providing the sights and sounds for all of you, the Bama fans, from the Crimson Tide fall camp practices. So this is fun. This is something new. This is something different. I'm excited about this. Here we go. Faram Davis writes in, morning practices? Yeah, Faram. Morning practices. Morning practices. That's it. Faram then writes in, so classes in the afternoon, Stephen? Well, it could be that way, Faram. We just going to have to see. But morning practices, that's what Kalen DeBoer's doing. Morning practices here for Alabama football. David Williams writes in, Alabama heat is brutal. It is, David. When you look at it, it's 90, 95 degrees with a heat index of what feels like over 100 with the moisture and the humidity in the air. I feel like this is one of the reasons why DeBoer did what he did. I feel like this is the reason why, to have those morning practices. You can go the rest of your day after getting that hard grind in the morning. From Davis writes in, that's cool. You still got your day with the morning practices. That's what I'm saying. You still have the rest of the day to recuperate your body, to do what you have to do, after the morning practice. So I feel like this is a good thing from Kalen DeBoer. This is a fresh idea from DeBoer. Looking forward to seeing how it all kind of, plays out there. Let's see here. Jay the Goat writes in, wow, morning practice. Yeah, morning practice. He says Saban Peasy. Saban used to have them. Saban did have some in the morning. But I know that, with Saban, he likes the heat, so you can deal with that mental toughness. Now, every practice every practice in fall camp be in the morning for Alabama. They may switch it up some. We'll see. I know the first one is going to be in the morning, but they may switch it up some. They may shift some things around. We'll be able to check that out once we get, covering a few of these practices here for Alabama. But those are the changes there that Kalen DeBoer is having there with those morning practices, especially with the first one being on July 31st here to start fall camp. But as always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can access this. You can access it by downloading the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You can download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. Now, for your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker, Overcast.fm, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back in studio on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you get that subscription to Touchdown Alabama.com. That's touchdownalabama.com. You get you that subscription today. We got you covered here, whether it's freshman recruiting, transfer portal recruiting, the current coaching staff, the current team, Bama and the NFL, whatever your flavor is in discussing Alabama football, we are catering to you with that flavor. You check us out, touchdownalabama.com, and also subscribe to TDA Plus for all of the video needs here. We got you taken care of right there. I got to appreciate all of you, the fans, for all of your chatting here in the chat line tonight, bringing your energy, your excitement, your enthusiasm. Enjoy the 4th of July tomorrow. Have fun with family. Have fun with friends. Don't eat too much. And when I say this to y'all, I'm actually saying it to myself. Steven, you're not going to eat too much here on 4th of July weekend. But, well, 4th of July. But until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening. They're my own words.